Nope.
Hello, dear listener. Thank you for joining me in this week's video. As you can see, this one is a special video. If you saw yesterday's channel update, in order to commemorate 16,000 subscribers, I'm doing a special video where I'm going to be talking about a true paranormal experience I had when I was younger. So without any further ado, we can just jump into it. Now, this particular experience, I've never really talked about it on the internet. I've told my friends about it, and I've always been kind of hesitant because I am religious, I'm a Christian, and I believe if you talk about certain things, you give them energy. If you pay attention to certain things, you give them energy. With that said, I'm going to just go ahead and talk about it here and share it with you guys because I love you guys, and that's what I do for you, dear listeners. So this story takes place in the town of Mount Prospect, Illinois. It is a medium-sized town in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and it was established in the early 1900s. Now, I remember it's a pretty old town because of that. The houses are all pretty old. They were built there, and my house that I lived in when I was younger was no exception. I moved into that particular house with my family, and I think it was 93, so I would have been 3 years old when I first moved in. I don't have any recollection of anything weird happening until I was about maybe like 8 or 9. I have distinct memories of when we first got a wireless phone, but when wireless phones were first a thing, they had a feature, and they still do, when you press the pager button, in case you can't find the actual phone unit, you press the pager button on the mount, and it'll start making the wireless phone ring or something so you can find it. Now, on several occasions, I would have been home alone as a kid because I'm an only child, so I'd be left home alone. The pager button would just start going off by itself, and I just sort of ignored it. Another thing that would happen was, you know, as a lot of you know, if you hit spacebar when you're playing music on any kind of like platform, spacebar typically pauses or resumes your music if it's already paused. And I remember pausing my music. You know, I remember one particular time I paused my music. I hit spacebar, paused my music. I went to the bathroom, and when I was in the bathroom, the music resumed. And that happened at least a couple times. But I remember one time in particular where it happened, like, again, I blamed it on a glitch at that time. Now, this particular story, it's going to be talking about one experience I had that's really just stuck with me. And I would have been about 10 or 11 at the time of this happening. I was in the guest room where we had our TV and my video games and all that. I had my back to the door. Behind me was like a small bit of the hallway in our house, in the upstairs area. And in that hallway was the entrance to the upstairs bathroom. Now, for whatever reason, I turned around. I didn't hear anything. I just kind of like turned around, you know. And from where I was sitting, I was able to see a yellow hand kind of slide into the bathroom. Now, imagine if here is like the bathroom, so I couldn't see it from where I was. I saw a yellow hand, start here and kind of just like slide in silently into the bathroom. And I wasn't like in a creeped out mood. I wasn't watching a scary movie. I was so calm, as a matter of fact. I didn't even like question it when I saw it. I had no doubt in my mind that it was my mom's hand. That she was wearing, it looked like she was wearing a yellow cleaning glove, you know, a rubber glove. And I assumed she was cleaning the bathroom, and she was just being quiet, or my TV was too loud or something. I didn't even question it. So then I just continued watching TV or playing games or whatever I was doing. And then after a while, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear water running. I didn't hear like anything being moved around. And I kind of got up and I looked in the bathroom. Lights were off. Nobody was in there, as you can probably guess. I went downstairs and I saw my mom in the kitchen cooking. And I was like, "Mom, were you upstairs like cleaning the bathroom not that long ago?" And she looked at me confused. She's like, "No, I was in the kitchen I've been in the kitchen all day." And I kind of just like, as a kid, I didn't think anything of it. Like, you just, you know, I don't know, I probably had an ADD. I just like didn't let it bother me. Just like, I didn't even hit me until I was like in my upper teens. Now, there's like 3 parts to the story, and then when they all come together, it's like, oh no. So that's part 1, is the bathroom incident. Part 2, when we had moved out of Mount Prospect into our new house. I was about, I don't know, like 18 when I first had, no, maybe a little older, like 20. I began having a reoccurring nightmare. And in this nightmare, most of the time, I would be in the bathroom of my old house in Mount Prospect. And in that nightmare, it would start out normal. I'd be in the house, in the bathroom, and I would start feeling just fear. I wouldn't know why. And then, from out of nowhere, sometimes it would be in the mirror, sometimes behind the shower curtain, sometimes just behind me, I would see an old, haggard woman with like white hair and like wrinkly skin, and she would just be standing there rather, staring at me with like a really insidious smile, just like that. And I would be frozen in fear whenever I would see her. If you ever had a nightmare where you tried to scream, or even in real life when you get like so scared that you're like I would get like that every time. After like a minute of that, this lady would just scream like banshee scream until the house would start shaking. And then I would get up, petrified each time. And it would be especially scary when I would have that dream while I was having sleep paralysis. Whew! That's part 2. So it's like, let's recap. It's the bathroom incident. It's this reoccurring nightmare of an old lady in the bathroom. Now part 3. My friend helped me realize this. She asked me, have you ever seen that old lady in real life? And I was like, nah, I don't think so. And I've always been afraid of old ladies. She's like, why have you been afraid of old ladies? And I said, well, my grandmother, before she passed away, she had dementia. So we made the hard decision to put her in a nursing home. And they put her on the second floor, all the way in the back. So in order to visit her as a young kid, I would have been, I don't know, like 8 or 9 when this happened, so it all kind of adds up. In order to get to her room, we would have to travel all the way through the first floor to the elevator and all the way to the end of the second floor. So I would pass a bunch of like senile, borderline, I know this is offensive, but whatever, I'm just gonna say it, they're crazy. These old people were so old and senile, they were crazy. And they would like, whenever they would see someone from the outside, they would come up to you and be like, you gotta get me out of here. And I would be scared, because I was young and like I didn't know what to make of it. So I think that's what sparked my fear of old people. So I remember one time at the nursing home, I was in the TV like chill area, I don't know what you'd call it. I was with my 2 cousins because our parents were visiting my grandmother, and I kind of had my back to the entrance, and my 2 cousins were able to see the entrance, and they just started laughing and snickering. And I was like, what are you guys doing? And I turned around, and there was this old, haggard woman with white curly hair, wrinkles like crazy. Like, I remember her defining feature was that her neck was so wrinkled that it was hanging and dangling. I'm not kidding, like a turkey. And she was like a foot from my face, smiling. Now, she wasn't smiling insidiously. A normal explanation would be that she thought maybe she thought I was her grandson or someone she knew. She was definitely senile. She was on a walker, and she was kind of just staring at me like. And I was like laughing at first because my cousins were laughing. I didn't think anything of it. So, got the bathroom incident, got my reoccurring nightmare of the old lady, and a real old lady that I saw at the time of everything happening, right? So the crazy horror fan theory that I came up with the help of my friends was that old woman passed away, and her spirit followed us out of the nursing home at some point into that old house, and for whatever reason is staying in the bathroom. Crazy. I know it's crazy, and there's no scripture that backs that up. There's no, as far as I've read, there's no like paranormal science that backs that up. It's just something that we came up with that sort of makes sense, because the old lady in my dream doesn't look exactly like that old lady, but she sort of did. So that's our theory. I don't know how to explain the bathroom incident. I don't know why I'm having I still have the reoccurring nightmare today. Like, I've been having them for like years and years, and I still have them today. So that's my experience. I can go into more that explains more nightmares and more creepy things that happen in that house. But the other story I have left is it is extremely personal to my family. I mean, it's nothing bad, but it's like, just for the sake of privacy, I'm hesitant to share it. But maybe at the next, I don't know, maybe 25,000 subscribers, we'll talk about it then. Get Nope Too Creepy to 25,000, and you have my word, I'll share that really personal horror story with you. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story. If anybody has any theories as to why I experienced that vision of the hand, or the reoccurring nightmares, or anything like that, or you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for future videos. Like I said, this is not a normal video by any means, But if you guys liked it, I wouldn't mind coming on in my human form and just chatting with you guys like this. If anyone has any related experiences or any kind of stories they like to share, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll even make a compilation of, like, if there's enough of people sharing really good stories, I'll narrate your stories. Or use your story to flesh it out into a full horror story. Who knows? Alright, thank you again everyone for watching. Just a reminder, this Thursday, if you didn't see yesterday's update video, this Thursday I'm adding all 8 episodes of the Nope Too Creepy podcast to this channel, so you guys can all just binge them if you'd like to. But that's it. Until next time, remember to stay safe out there. I'll be seeing you in the next video.